going to do.
Okay, so this recipe is actually called sunflower seed spread. And the sunflower seed spread is something that I like to use as either an appetizer or a snack. And most often I use it as a snack, but around holiday times, I'll use it as an appetizer because it's a healthy appetizer. It has a lot of good fiber, plant foods, and of course you can serve it with other vegetables as well. So that's kind of how I get through the holidays or any like birthdays and things like that, is preparing foods that taste good that also have health-related properties. So this particular recipe came to me via church, and a lot of times, I don't know if y'all eat at church or not, but it's not always the healthiest situation.
Yeah.
So I was paired with a woman. We did mini breakfasts at our church, and she ate a raw food diet, which was very unique for a church setting. And so as a dietitian, I loved being paired with her because I got introduced to a lot of different foods. And this was one of her recipes, and I tweaked it ever so slightly, and it has been a favorite ever since. And it makes a ton, which again is the theme for today, right? We want to make a lot of food so we can use it again and again and again.
Yep. Healthy leftovers.
Healthy leftovers.
Think lunches, kids' lunches.
Yes. And also, I put these in the freezer in little containers, and then I can just take it and go. So the first thing...
Tell me what to do.
That I do. Well, right now I just want to show that.
What is it called?
Sunflower seed spread.
Sunflower seed
Sunflower seed spread. So first thing I do is I take 3 cups of the sunflower seeds, and I do grind them up in the food processor. And I don't grind them real fine, like maybe a little bit finer than rice, I guess. So then you just dump that out. The other good thing about this recipe, it's all done in the food processor, so it's super simple. So then I start...
Now, can you do that in your...
The Vitamix, I have not done it in the Vitamix, but I'm sure you could do it in the Vitamix.
Okay.
But you kind of do it in stages. So you do sunflower seeds first, so that's done. And then we're gonna do the lemon juice. It uses a fair amount of lemon juice. I already have, this is about 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. I already have that measured out. And that's probably about 2.5 lemons.
Lemons, yep.
Yep. And then I use 1/4 of a cup of almond butter. And I'll tell you, I tried it with peanut butter, not the same. You want the almond butter, okay? So that gets...
that almond butter.
Yes, tell them about that almond butter. It is the
Where is the
best.
jar? Here it is. Okay, I get to say I introduced this to Kim a couple years ago. This is a good friend of mine, and her husband started this company just a couple years ago. If you're in Georgia or the Southeast, you can call it local because it's made in Atlanta. And okay, you know how like the way to test something, we need to be reading labels. The fewer ingredients usually signifies the better. The ingredients in this almond butter, this is the honey roasted, is going to be, there's roast, so few I can't even find it. Roasted almonds, honey, and sea salt.
Yeah.
And their original is roasted almonds and sea salt. And I just absolutely love it. Of course, you can get this at New Life, but they are growing by leaps and bounds. It is so good. You eat it with a spoon. In our house, we eat it with a spoon.
It's
amazing.
amazing.
And there's limits.
Yeah, there is limits because you could go overboard.
You're not allowed to eat the whole thing.
That's why it's good
in my house.
That's why it's good to put it in things like this so that you don't overeat it. But that is the best almond butter I've ever tasted.
It's true. It's true.
So then we're just going to put the remaining spices in, right? So this is the sea salt, cumin, and a little bit of cayenne. Now, I will admit to you that I am a spice wimp. So I always underspice things. So you can make it as spicy as you want. And then you
Let me ask you about cumin.
Cumin, yes.
Tell me about cumin.
Cumin, I love cumin. It's delicious. Are you asking about specific medicinal properties?
Now, what do you use it usually in, cumin?
Well, so obviously it's in this recipe, but it, to me, adds like a smoky flavor to it, like Mexican cuisine. You know, what else? The black bean soup has it in there, for example.
Cumin, and then, of course,
you could put it on chicken.
Cayenne is always good for your heart, good for you. Okay.
Right, and so anytime you're adding like spices to your foods, you're going to be getting those antioxidants in, but like from a medicinal standpoint, you are not getting in the amount of spice that has been studied to prevent or help with disease processes.
Right.
But you are still getting those good nutrients in. And so the way I think about it is like I want good nutrients from garlic or spices in my body, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like you want it going through at all times.
Well, it talks about that in the Bible.
Yeah.
Every living herb and spices come from herbs, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, I have given you every herb-bearing seed.
That's right.
All right, so I just wanted to give a little culinary tip here. I have been teaching cooking for a while, and I have found that people don't always know what a clove of garlic is. So this is a head of garlic.
Yes.
And these are the cloves. So we're putting 3 cloves in. So the easy thing about the food processor is you can just throw them in. You do want to take the paper off, which, Heather, do you want to show them how to take the paper off with this thing? Have you ever used that thing
No, I
before?
don't know. Yeah, the way I don't, I just smash it.
All right, well, you can smash it, or I have this little rolly thing, which is not necessary, but it's kind of fun for kids.
That's cool.
You just roll it.
Really?
Then the paper comes off.
That's so neat.
Now, there's a little bad place in my, I'm going to throw that out. Put those in. And then ginger.
Whoa.
That's the other secret ingredient to this. It's delicious. So this is a zester, and when I was growing up, or like as a 20-year-old, I cooked a lot because I was broke. And you know, cooking for yourself is a lot cheaper. Do you want to finish that?
Sure.
And so I didn't buy anything or use any recipes that called for zest. And then I bought a zester. It's like $10. Buy a zester.
Yeah.
It adds wonderful flavor to your foods.
How much of this do we need?
A lot.
A lot.
Keep going.
Got it.
Now, is that what you're talking about, that thing?
That's a zester. It's actually
Zester.
called a microplane.
Microplane.
But you can get it at Walmart. You could probably get it at New Life. I don't know. Okay, that's good.
Is that good?
Yeah.
And we want all
yeah,
this, right?
Scrape it.
Into the food
Into the bowl.
processor? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
Awesome.
such
It
good
smells
stuff.
so good. Again, with the
I mean,
smell
you
of
want
it.
to talk about powerhouse nutrients.
All right, so then we're just going to turn this on again. We didn't test it ahead of time, so let's hope it turns on.
Yay!
Now, I'll run this a little bit because I want to make sure my garlic cloves get chopped up. And then we'll just add the vegetables in.
Can we chop
So it really doesn't take so long to do these things.
Now, I
we
want
break
to
that down?
show people how to chop that.
Do you pop it open? How do you do it?
Well, do it however you do it. There's many different ways, but
Here's what I do.
wait a second. Okay.
I won't use that part. I just go around and leave the middle.
That's what I do.
Is that what you do?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a trick recently where someone like popped it open and it kind of took care of that. But here's how I do it. But you know, like I say, I get my
Wow.
tips from you, so.
But that
Do we
makes
want to
it
just
super
make
simple.
bigger pieces?
Just
About
cut
like
each
this?
piece in half, and that's plenty.
'Kay.
Because we're going to do it all in the food processor. So one red onion, or this is a pepper.
pepper.
One red pepper.
goes in.
Okay.
Yep. And then
What
I
else do
had
we
an
need?
onion
Do we
somewhere.
need lemon juice?
That's it right there, that onion. No, we already have lemon.
That's right. Okay. You want me to just cut this in
An
big
onion
pieces?
and an
Now
onion.
it calls for like a medium onion, and this was a big onion, so I'm just using half of the big onion.
Got it. Now I like this knife. I haven't gotten into these yet.
It's not my
but
favorite knife, but
Really?
it came
It's
with a
pretty
cover,
cool.
so I brought it here.
There we go.
But it was an inexpensive knife, and it's always nice to have good sharp ones.
Well, it's pink.
All right. Next thing is kale. Now, if you haven't made kale chips, we don't have those in the cookbook, but kale chips are awesome. And we're not doing that, so maybe that would be something for later. But for kale, I feel like that's another intimidating vegetable for people. They're
Yep.
like, what do I do with this? So what I do with it is super simple. Is I just fold it down over the, what is this called?
The
Spine.
stem,
The spine or
spine.
the stem. So I fold it like that, and then take the handy dandy knife and just run it.
Okay, that's
I
a great
do that
tip.
with romaine, too.
And then, you know, you don't have to get the whole thing out. Like, that's still a little thick. So the thicker it is, the tougher it is to chew, right? So I kind of go a little further than that. And that's it.
And you know, kale is really good for oxygenating the blood.
It is?
The other
is.
thing you can do is
Yep.
just simply rip it. Depends on how bad of a day you had, what you want which way you want to go with that. And then, so I already have it measured and cleaned. So you just stick that in here.
That's your kale.
That's my kale. And then parsley is next.
I mean, look at the nutrients
Now,
you're putting in there.
I was planning on using my parsley off my back deck, which this is, but I don't quite have enough with me today because I froze my parsley.
Oh, you did?
So,
you grow your own.
Grow my own, absolutely, grow your own herbs. All right. So then you're just going to obviously turn this back on. And remember, your lemon juice and your spices are already on here. And I pulse it because we want it to kind of mix. And you may have to check on it. Get our greens pushed down there a little bit more. Should probably use another utensil besides a sharp knife for that.
So you pulse the beginning first to get the liquid in the...
You want your garlic chopped up. You don't
Okay.
want a big chunk of garlic. Okay. So the kale is being a little bit
There's a spoon.
kale-like.
Now listen, if you enjoy her, and I'm really enjoying her, you can watch her Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Channel 12. Here in North Augusta, we have Channel 12, and she's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
It's not bad when you like to eat, to make food, right? So eating is one of my favorite things.
You are, and you like to eat?
All right, so then you just take it, and whenever you're working with your food processor, you kind of have to put your finger in to hold that blade down, or you can just simply take the blade out ahead of time. But the point is you don't just turn this upside down, because then the blade is going to fall out. So then you just pour it into your sunflower seeds and mix it, and that's it. It is done and ready, and you can see the beautiful colors in it. So you just want to chop up your vegetables to where they're still, you can still tell there's vegetables in there, but it's not really big chunks. And then, obviously, you can see it makes a lot. It's very nutrient rich, nutrient dense, has a lot of calories and nutrients. So that's why I just kind of portion it out into little, you know, those little
like 2-ounce cups,
yeah,
really,
or
right?
like something about like this, and stick it in the freezer.
And
So,
stick it in the freezer.
I stick it in the freezer, and then I've got a snack whenever I want it. Or obviously, if I take it for an appetizer, I would take a larger portion. But
Now, Kim does classes, and about a year or so ago, she came to hold a class at the training center at New Life, and she brought this as her little
Sample?
gift, her sample to give everyone, and it became a favorite.
The favorite.
Right away. Right away.
Yeah.
Because when you taste it, you'll see. You know it's healthy, but it's just delicious, and it satisfies a craving. It makes you feel like you're getting real food.
it has so many unique flavors. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I ever would have put them all together.
Yeah, like cayenne's in there.
Cayenne is in here. The other thing I've done with this is I've taken a whole grain tortilla and smeared that on there and rolled it up.
Oh, it's kind of like a
So
topping
yummy.
on.
You could put some chicken in that with a wrap and wrap it up.
Yeah.
You can even make little pinwheels, I bet. I've never tried that.
Oh, that would
so
be
look,
cute.
we're just
Yeah.
making new recipes.
Yeah,
Roll it up,
yeah.
cut 'em up.
And the main meat of it is sunflower seed, which is amazing. You know,
Right.
seeds are so nutrient rich.
Right, and you know the other good thing
seeds
about
and
this, well,
nuts.
we didn't even talk about this really with seeds, is like, you know, nuts a lot of times people are allergic to, and seeds are a lot more allergy friendly, also gluten free. So you know this can go vegetarian, it can go across all different styles of eating. So it's
Wow.
it's definitely one of my favorite recipes, and I can't say that I fully made it up. Like I said, I just kind of tweaked it. I have no idea where it originally came from, but it is lovely. I love it.
Is it in your cookbook?
Of course.
Of course.
Everything you see today is in her cookbook. So you need to go to the phone right now. You say, oh, I can't remember all that. Well, you don't have to remember it. It's right here. So we need you to go to your cookbook and get it. It's wonderful. I love all the stuff you have in here. Oh, that's Israeli.
Quinoa. That's
Israeli.
quinoa.
They use that in so many things over there. So we have the book here, and it's a love gift of $20. So get up and go to your phone and call now. You wish you had, because you're not going to want to miss out on this.